Welcome back to my predictions for the 2023-2024 NFL season. We are back. Last week was pretty good. I got a lot of them right, I would say. I think I went like 12-4. A couple games threw me off, like the Raiders beating Broncos. Didn't see that happening. But I did get a lot of games right, I saw the Browns beating the Bengals and some other stuff. But could have been better. So let's see what I can do this week. Let's go. Now this week, let's start in the NFC. And I know this game already happened, but I definitely expected the Eagles to win. And I didn't see them winning by that close of a margin, but I definitely saw them winning. So first up. Now the Bears and the Buccaneers. This could go either way. It really could. I'm going to pick the Bucs, though, because the Bears really didn't look that great last week. But I think the Bears could very easily pull this game out of, I don't know, their hat, their butt, I don't know. Now, the Packers-Falcons, this is a game with, this is going to be such a good game. Packers were so good last week. Falcons, not as good, but still pretty good. I mean, they won. And Bijan looked incredible. Everyone was clicking on all teams. I don't know who's going to win. I feel like it's going to be the Falcons because, Packers, they won last week because it was against a division rival. I think that was a big part of it. And they kind of rocked them. And this week it's just the Falcons, and I think Falcons are going to win. It's at home. Falcons won at home last week, but do not be surprised whatsoever if the Packers even blow out the Falcons. Now, Seahawks-Lions, I really, really thought that the Seahawks were going to be much better than what they did last week. But I still saw them regressing, and I guess I was right in that matter. And I also didn't see the Lions winning. Two teams I did not get right last week. But I'm definitely picking the Lions here because they won, Seahawks lost, and Lions looked a lot better than the Seahawks. First home game for the Lions is going to be a lot of hype, and I think Lions winning. Now, the 49ers and the Rams, two teams that scored a similar amount of points somehow, even though one team really should not be doing that, and the other team is a Super Bowl contender. I would not be surprised if the Rams won. They shouldn't win, though. 49ers are going to win, but yeah, 49ers should definitely win. Okay, Giants-Cardinals. The Cardinals played a very, very good game in a losing effort against the Commanders last week when they really shouldn't have. I mean, when you're starting Joshua frickin' Dobbs, that's just not a good look, and it's not a good look for the Commanders for barely winning there. But they still won, I guess. And Giants are the only team that have not scored a point yet in the 2023 season. But still, I can't. That's just too stupid for the Giants to. It doesn't make any sense. Cardinals are too bad for that to happen. And Giants, they should really win this game. But based on last week, I guess Cardinals could win, but they really shouldn't. Okay, Saints-Panthers. Yeah, another NFC South teams. It's probably just going to be the home team. But the Saints, I liked the Saints last week. They had some good plays. Derek Carr, he looked good, and then he looked bad, and then he looked good, and then he looked worse. But it's fine. Bryce Young and the Panthers really did not look that good against the Falcons last week. I don't really know. It's probably going to be the Panthers. I mean, it's tough, man. The NFC South is so even. But I'm going to say the Saints, screw it, because they should win this game. And I think that they're going to win this game, but I'm going to be mad at myself if the Panthers win. Now, the Jets and the Cowboys. Last week, with Aaron Rodgers, I expected the Jets to beat the Bills, and they did. But not exactly in the way that I was expecting. And after I said that the Jets were going to win, I said that the Cowboys are going to bring Aaron Rodgers back down to earth. But Cowboys should definitely win. I mean, when you win by 40 freaking points and don't give up any points, and Dak Prescott only has 6 fantasy points, your defense is pretty good, and I don't think Zach Wilson's going to be able to do dog poop anything against the Cowboys defense. Now, Commanders-Broncos. Last week, I really had high hopes for the Broncos because I want the Broncos to be good. I want Russell Wilson to be good. I think he's going to be good this year. And then the Commanders, I was like, yeah, they're going to beat the Cardinals, whatever, but they barely won to Joshua Dobbs. And I think Broncos should win. Commanders, this would be a game that the Commanders would win. or lose, honestly. It's their game to win or lose. But Broncos, I want them to do good, and I want them to win, and I think they're going to win this week. Now, the Chiefs and the Jaguars. Chiefs, they barely lost to the Lions without Chris Jones and without Travis Kelce. I think this week, with Travis Kelce and Chris Jones, they should definitely be beating the Jaguars, and I don't see why they shouldn't. Maybe Trevor Lawrence is insane. He was really good last week, but I don't see him beating the Chiefs this week. Now, the Ravens and the Bengals. This is interesting. The Bengals, I kind of expected them to lose last week. A lot of people were surprised. Even though I didn't even know that Joe Burrow was going to play, and I still thought that they were going to lose, and they did lose by a lot. But this one's tough. Ravens didn't play that much of a convincing game of football against the Texans, and that's kind of concerning. Lamar Jackson really wasn't that good. And the Bengals, they should win, even if they did terrible last week. I mean, they were terrible in week 1 last year, and they still made it to the championship game, so yeah, I really don't care. Bengals should win. Now, Raiders, Bills. How did the Raiders win that? What? No, the Raiders should not have won. And the Bills, I picked them to lose. Hey, I'm too good at this game. And they should bounce back. They're always going to bounce back. Last year they lost to the Dolphins. Josh Allen threw a fit. The GM or whatever threw a fit.
Ken Dorsey showed his appreciation for the Dolphins and rearranged the papers on his desk.
And they still made it to the divisional, even though they lost to the Bengals. But whatever, we don't count that part in the story. And Bills should win. I don't know why I'm extending this. Bills are going to win. Now, Chargers, Titans. Titans kind of played a close game against the Saints. It was a weird game. And Chargers played an awesome game. Justin Herbert was so good, and they lost by 2 points because Tua threw, 466, a lot of yards. And Tyreek went absolutely off. Jalen Waddle didn't have that good of a game, at least for, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle standards, but they still went off. And Chargers, Austin Eckler was really good. Derrick Henry, he's regressing, but they're still going to run him into a wall, so he's going to look good. Austin Eckler, he is very good, and he's going to run all over the Titans, and the Chargers should get a convincing one. But the Chargers would lose this game. They really would. So now the Colts and the Texans. Texans, they're the Texans, and then the Colts, I liked how they played last week. They lost by 10 points to the Jags, but the Jags played better than them, and the Colts still played pretty good. And the Colts should win this game. I'm expecting them to win. But Texans could win. This could be a tie like last year. But Colts, come on. Just beat the Texans. Now, the Dolphins and the Patriots. The Patriots played a game against the Eagles that was heavily defensive mind. Offenses didn't do that great. Eagles had a good drive or two on offense. But the Patriots' offense, as usual, was boring as crap. Even without Tom Brady, it's still boring. And with Tua being absolutely on crack and the Patriots' defense being good, this is kind of like a immovable object meets an unstoppable force. But that unstoppable force is the Dolphins' offense, and I don't think that anything is going to be stopping the Dolphins' offense except for an injury to Tua. And finally, we got the Browns and the Steelers on Monday, and these are two different teams last week. I mean, Steelers got rolled over by the 49ers, but I saw that some people saw the Steelers winning or playing a better game. That's just, what? I don't believe in the Steelers at all. It's so tough. It's like the Falcons Packers and the Bucks Bears. These are tough games, man. Saints Panthers, so tough. This week's going to be tough to predict for a lot of people. I guess I'll just do the opposite here with this game. I'm going to pick the Steelers even though they played bad last week. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. I hope I got my predictions right. I'm actually recording this the day of Sunday, so I hope I get them right. And I'll see you next week, or next time, or whenever you watch me again. See ya.